everybody. This is my first video ever for YouTube. I renamed my channel from my regular name to Michael's Magical Moments. The idea here is to capture moments between now and who knows when in my life that I want to remember and cherish and share with others. Who knows if anybody will watch these videos. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. At the very least, I hope to leave these videos around for my kids, grandkids, friends, family to watch in case they are interested. I'm out here in my backyard. I live in Missouri, about 30 or so miles, give or take, outside of St. Louis area. Lived in Missouri most of my life. Did spend some time in Houston, Texas for about 12 or so years ago now, but after various hurricanes and such, we moved back to Missouri. Plus, it's where most of our family is anyway. The general idea that I had for creating this channel is, well, I've been thinking about this for quite a while. It's just been something on the back burner. YouTube's a pretty easy platform to create and upload videos to. Obviously, I'm brand new to all this, so you know, I imagine my videos will start out rough, and hopefully, as time goes on and I keep doing these, they'll improve in quality, sound, video, etc. They obviously all won't be filmed in the backyard here, although this is the backdrop I chose because I do have a nice wooded area behind me, although that tree right there could definitely use some more branches on it. So right now I have those awkward, you know, first video kind of vibes going on. But as I become more comfortable with the format, I'm sure that'll change. At least I hope. So anyway, the idea was today is June 22nd, 2023, and I am exactly 6 months away from my birthday in December. I will be 49 this year, and my idea has been for some time to create at least a year-long series of videos on my road to 50. You know, plenty of people out there cross this milestone. To me, it seems like a good milestone to have. I'm obviously getting plenty of white in the old beard here, but I will be 50 next year, 2024, so I wanted to kind of document the various activities I had across my 49th to 50th birthday. I do have some goals in mind that I'll potentially share later. So for now, this video, I just want to recap the year so far since we are 6 months into it. January, we had New Year's Day and I did a snowball series race. I am a runner. I do enjoy running and I like competing in various races. I haven't done as many this year as I usually have done, but I did kick off the new year right and ran one of the snowball series, and then that series extended from January to February. Very cold that time of year here in Missouri, but you get out there and you just run your race as best you can. And then February, my wife and I went and saw Blue Man Group for the first time at the Fox Theater. That's in St. Louis. It was a good show. I would say I definitely recommend it. It's a good experience to have at least one time. That and Cirque du Soleil, which I've seen a couple times now. Those are always enjoyable shows to attend. And then we get to the event in late February, which was when my sister passed away. She was 39 years old at the time, and approaching her what would have been her 40th birthday. So about a year ago, she was in an automobile accident. In fact, in 2 days it will have been a year. So June 24th of last year, she was in an automobile accident where she was a passenger and there was a drunk driver who was driving the car that she was in, and they slammed into a concrete pole on the passenger side, which resulted in my sister having substantial injuries, and they were able to airlift her to a hospital here in the St. Louis area, and she struggled for 8 months at various facilities, recovering to a degree, but not substantial enough to prevent her from eventually passing away at the end of February. Her wishes were to be cremated, so we went through that process. We eventually got her ashes back in March, and then had her celebration of life on April 22nd, which would have been her 40th birthday. So yes. Her celebration of life was well attended by friends and family. It was a good service. There's things I probably would have done differently had I had to do it all over again, since we were the ones that planned it and spoke and such. But you can't change the past, unfortunately. You can only move forward. So after February, we get to March. I did have 2 races in March around St. Patrick's Day. They were St. Patty's Day themed races. I did back-to-back half marathons on the 10th and 11th. That's the second time I've done back-to-back half marathons. They went well. I even got first in my age group for the one that was held Sunday, the second race. So I was quite pleased with that. Then towards the end of March, we went to Las Vegas for our first time, or at least my first time. My wife had previously been there, but I'd never been. We took my daughter and her fiance there for my daughter's 25th birthday. It was her treat, since she missed a lot of the other family trips for various reasons, 2 of which included being pregnant with my grandchildren. So we thought we would take this opportunity to take her to Las Vegas so we could all celebrate. They call it Sin City, but I honestly didn't do a lot of sinning there. Did a small amount of gambling, decent amount of drinking, I guess. I was never quite hammered drunk or anything like that. I will say I did try edibles for the first time. It was interesting. I don't feel they really did much to me other than giving me dry mouth. Both times I tried them when I was there. I didn't really feel much else. But I didn't like the cotton mouth feeling, I can tell you that. So I don't know if I'll ever go down that route again. We'll see. While in Vegas, we did do a lot of touristy things. It was a good experience overall, good trip. And then continuing on with the year, April 2nd, I had my second ever marathon that I ran. It was just as hard as the first one, and I found myself contemplating why I decided to do it again while I was out there, especially after mile 18, and I just felt horrible. I'm sure I will do one again because it's on one of my goals for the future. I have a specific series of races I want to do. The Disney Dopey Challenge, which is the 5K, 10K, half marathon, and full marathon on back-to-back consecutive days. That is one of my goals because I've always wanted to do a Run Disney race. We are pretty well what you'd call Disney adults, my wife and I. And of course, the kids we've taken most of them to Disney World as well. They've all enjoyed it, but I will say the last trip that we had was just my wife and I for our anniversary last year, and it was a great time. I didn't go to Disney World as a kid, or any Disney park for that matter. It was just not something that my family could afford to do. So I was very thrilled when I became an adult and was able to take my family. And I will say that prior to going to Disney World my first time, which was only back in 2017, well, technically we went to the Disney World property in 2016 and stayed at the Fort Wilderness Campground. So we didn't actually go to the parks. So it wasn't until 2017 that we went to the parks for the first time. And then we did that during Christmas time of 2017. We actually got there on my birthday and then stayed through New Year's Day. It was probably the greatest vacation trip I've had in my life. We've had many, and I've enjoyed a lot of them, but I will say that one was probably one of the more spectacular ones. Also one of the more expensive ones, no doubt. Disney is pricey. But we had a great time, and it really changed my philosophy on Disney and how I saw it. Prior to going, I thought, oh yeah, be at the theme park, it'll be fun, we'll have a good time. I don't get what the big deal is about everybody being so fanatical about Disney, but after that trip, I was a true believer then. Definitely became a Disney fanatic on that trip. So we definitely have lots of Disney park goals in our future. and Run Disney is one of my specific ones. And I plan to do that after my 50th, probably 2025. The marathon weekend in January is my current goal for that. Fingers crossed that I can actually get registered before they run out. I'm not a Club Run Disney person. I almost signed up for it when it went on sale recently, but I just couldn't justify spending the cost only to try to get registered for that one series of races. So we're just gonna play the cards and hope for the best. Towards the end of April, we held my sister's celebration of life ceremony, and my wife also had her birthday. Then moving into May, my wife and I celebrated our 19th wedding anniversary, so next year will be 20th. And we'll probably do something special to celebrate it, though we also have a Disneyland trip that we're planning for June of that year, so we'll probably hold off until June so we can celebrate the anniversary and Disneyland trip, which is more for my son's graduation. He'll be graduating next year from high school, and we're going to go to Disneyland as part of the celebration. So the rest of May this year, my wife and I did attend the D23 Marceline event. For anybody who doesn't know what D23 is, it's the, I guess, mega Disney fan club. There's 2 different levels. You can be a general member, which doesn't cost anything, and you can be a gold member, which I believe is $100 a year, maybe $120. I can't remember what it was. Basically, gold membership is basically you paying Disney for that membership level, so that then they'll give you exclusive access to get into other events or buy specific merchandise. So you're actually paying to pay again. Paying for the privilege of being able to pay for other things. 'Tis the Disney way. Like I said earlier, Disney's expensive. But at that D23 Marceline event, we were able to go to Marceline, Missouri, which I'd never been before. It was a spectacular event. I didn't know what to expect prior to it, other than what the description read, but we had a great time just being around other Disney fans, being on the farm, experiencing the original Main Street USA in Marceline, Missouri. Took plenty of pictures. It was just a great day full of events to celebrate Walt Disney and his life. Then on to June, which is the month we're in now, I did have a race on June 6th, which was the Big Run 5K. It was the first race I'd done since the marathon in April. I really needed a break after that marathon. My body was in rough shape. I believe I even had a stress fracture on my left foot, which I never went to the doctor and got diagnosed, but that's sure what it felt like. It's mostly healed up to this point, but I did need to take some time away because marathon training volume was just so much, and my body was so tired. I took about a month off from running. I did focus on other things, strength training, a lot of body weight exercises at home, and some gym time. I still haven't picked up the training volume like I did. I only run 2 days a week now, Wednesdays and Sundays. And then next month, July 9th, I'll be running with Big River Training Team for the season. It's always good to run with a group. I think it really helps pass the time while you're out there running. Get good camaraderie with all the fellow runners out there. Big River Training Team is part of the Big River Running Company. That's a series of stores here in the St. Louis area that's focused on fitness and running, obviously. We also have Fleet Feet in the area. They're a little more local to me than Big River, but I've run with Big River for several seasons now. I enjoy both stores, Big River and Fleet Feet, but Big River is the one I've been training with the most. I also completed the Disney 100 virtual 5K series this month. It was a series of 3 5Ks that you can run on your own as part of the virtual event series. Typically, I'm not a big fan of virtual series because it's, to me, it feels like I'm just paying to go run by myself, which I can do for free any other time. But I really like the medals that they were offering for this one. And while Disney stuff is always expensive, and this was no exception, in my opinion, as far as virtual race series go, the medals are pretty cool, which I'm still waiting to get them in, so I don't have them yet. But I did complete the 5K series and input my virtual results. I don't know if I'll ever do that again. I just really wanted the medals, so I mean, I could have just not ran at all and still got the medals, which is what anybody can do. It's really all I have on tap at this current moment. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm hoping to make more of these. This is really just a test run, a first video to kind of build my skills on doing this sort of thing. I really want to kick off my year-long series on my birthday of December 22nd of my road to 50. I'm still working out in my mind kind of what that's going to look like and what I'm going to do. Some other things I enjoy in life besides running and Disney, which I talked about a lot. I'm a old school comic nerd. I've been enjoying comic books and that pop culture for many, many years, since I was a young lad. So I do see movies that are interesting to me. So far this year, I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is still the best movie that's been out this year. Of course, I haven't seen every movie, but I've seen every kind of pop culture and comic book related movie, of course. Usually go with the family. They enjoy the stuff too, for the most part, maybe not as much as me, but we have a good time. I do have 5 kids, 2 grandkids, and of course I'm married, as I mentioned. Aside from that, I also enjoy volunteerism pretty well. The company I work for is heavy into volunteerism, so through them I can volunteer for many events. Next one I have coming up is the Habitat for Humanity build next Friday. I'll probably shoot a little footage and get some photos on that one. I've done habitat builds for many, many years. They're always enjoyable. You always get new skills. It is going to be hot since we are in June in Missouri. I think it's supposed to be low 90s. Of course, we're not near as hot as some of the southern states are right now, which are getting into heat indexes of over 100. It has to be rough. Missouri is quite humid in general, especially during the summer. So I'm sure I'll be a sweaty mess next Friday, along with everybody else that's out there helping me. This year, for the first time, I've got one of those beer passports, and I haven't really used it as much as I thought I would up to this point. I think I've only been to 3 out of the 25, so I've really got to pick up my game the rest of this year on getting to these breweries that are in the area. So far, my favorite of the 3 that I've been to was Good News Brewing, which was the most recent one that we went to just this past weekend. I had a really delicious hazelnut milk chocolate stout, I believe it was, or hazelnut coffee milk stout. Yeah, hazelnut coffee milk stout. It's quite good. And there's also 2 other Good Newses in the area which are on the beer passport, so I'm going to check out both of those as I get to checking off my list. But I do stick to my craft beers. I do enjoy a good porter, a stout, IPA, etc. So that's it for now. This is my first video. I've got a lot of editing to do before I post this. I'm sure you won't be able to see that, of course. By the time I hopefully post it, I'll have edited it to the point that I like it, at least reasonably. Again, first one, so big road ahead of me to improve the quality of these videos if I'm going to keep up with the consistency. For anybody who's watching who's not related to me or not a friend with me, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully it was enjoyable. Feel free to comment. Hopefully nothing overly negative. That's always the fear with some of these online applications that people do like to be negative, especially these days. Hoping that we can remain positive. I try to have a positive outlook in general on life. There are hard days, definitely hard days, and we can't always maintain positivity 24/7. I know that's hard. We all go through struggles and good times and bad times, but I'm hoping that I can keep the videos positive because I try to be a positive person myself. And for any of my family or friends who's watching it, I really appreciate it. Family, I love you guys. If any of my kids are watching, I love you all. I've enjoyed watching you grow across the years, and hopefully these videos will be kind of a reminder, if ever a time comes that I'm not around, that I want you to know that you were all loved, and I did definitely try my very best at being a good dad, husband, friend, son, etc. Well, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good day.